Hi, this afternoon I'm joined by Ginny Rhodes from Dress for Success. Thank you for joining me today, Ginny.
Thanks, Claire, for having me.
No problem, no problem. So, Ginny, you are the Executive Manager for Dress for Success in Christchurch. And with all the things that are going on at the moment, what I wanted to do was take this opportunity to talk to yourself so that we could learn a little bit more about the Dress for Success organisation. So first question is, what do you think it is that makes the experience and the visit to Dress for Success so special for people?
I think that it really hinges around the people involved for me. I mean, we are a global organisation, so we have the same mission to empower women, but it always comes down to the people involved, and the volunteers is really the key to making our women, our clients, feel special, to feel empowered, to feel that it's all about them when they visit us. So I think having the right team around has been a really important part of the Christchurch Dress for Success across the programs that we offer.
In respect of, you said it's all about the clients. That's really great to hear. Just tell me what you mean by that.
So our clients are women, and they can range from age 16 upwards, and they're coming from all situations, but predominantly they're in need at this time. So it could be an economic situation, poverty, it could be mental health challenge, it could be just looking for your first job. A myriad of referrers will send women through to us.
Okay, that's great. So in relation to the services that you're able to offer to women across Christchurch, what does that include?
So Claire, what that includes is 3 key programs, and we're probably most well known for the dressing program, which is about ensuring that women have the appropriate clothing to present well if they're job searching. But we've softened that approach a little to include women in need generally. So they could be in any situation. They could be in a job and looking to go to the next job, but they need that support to do so. So they come to us, and we ensure they have the appropriate clothing. And I guess what that does is it is about the clothing, but it's very much more about the self-confidence and the self-esteem, which is the key thing there to go out into the job market, internship, work experience, or whatever they're doing. And then we have the Careers Centre, which supports the work in the dressing program. So we have careers coaches who work on a one-on-one situation to look at skills analysis, CV preparation, interview skills, using the social media, personal profiling, all that sort of thing. And then we have a focus on retention as well, which is run through a couple of programs, the Women in Work seminar, and a mentoring program that we're developing at the moment.
Great, that's great. So in light of our current situation, which obviously is affecting clients across the world for Dress for Success with COVID-19, in respect of for Christchurch, what have you as an organisation for yourself? What have you decided to do to adapt to the situation here?
Well, I think we've started off with some ideas, but that could very well change depending on how long we need to stay put. But obviously going to an online presence, delivering programs remotely is the answer to delivery of programs. And we can do that with the Career Centre quite easily, using a number of different applications. So we can continue to provide careers coaching to clients. We can also look at maybe some group work as people within their own homes tune into a group session around job search skills. And we can keep people abreast via links, Facebook, how positive mindset, things that you've talked about, Claire, all of that. It's a little bit trickier with the dressing program because that's always been an in-person program. A woman comes along and the stylist work with her to pull together that complete outfit, but we are working on a Select and Send is the name of the program, and we're perfecting it really to look if we could roll it out as some of the lockdown measures possibly lessen, and that's about putting together an outfit and packaging it up and sending it out to a client rather than them coming in. So yeah, I think we're just playing with ideas of how we can support. We're very conscious that there are going to be many more women in need as the economic fallout becomes apparent. So we want to be able to very quickly step in and support wherever we can. We're also really conscious that winter is approaching and that we have a lot of winter clothing. So how can we match the need within the confines of what our current situation is?
Yeah, that's great. So the thinking about the doing the careers centre on an online basis, and potential for opening up to, instead of it just being one-on-one, there's that opportunity to do multiple people through webinars, but also the working on sending out the clothes directly is you're obviously really keen as an organisation and yourself and the team to keep things going. Because I guess now's the time when when the ladies are going to need it most.
Yeah, I think you're right, and this was proven post-earthquake as well. Initially, there was a bit of a hiatus, and then as soon as things settled and the economic environment changed, then we were there ready to support women, and this is going to be bigger than that. I mean, Christchurch is used to experiencing this sort of crisis situation and having to be creative and adapt quickly so that we can still be in the game, really.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. It's kind of almost unfortunate, obviously, with the earthquakes as they were, but it gave us the opportunity to learn how adaptable and how we can adjust in times of challenge. You know, that's something that you're obviously looking to implement again now. I guess the services are really important in respect of the clothing and from the career centre and also the retention side. But what I'm interested to hear your thoughts on is, how do you think the Dress for Success service has a positive impact on the mindset of the clients that come through the doors?
Well, I think for many women, it's the first time that they've been the centre of attention, that the time that they spend with us is all about them and their next step and how they feel. So our volunteers are always asking them how they feel. How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? Rather than telling them how they should. So I think building up that confidence and that self-esteem, having that special time just for that woman. And I think all of our programs and services are focused on that next step, that what's in the future, that forward thinking, whether it's changing jobs or getting a job for the first time or going into some training, or just even feeling better because your current situation isn't great. I think that's all positive mindset.
Yeah, that's really good. And that's, as you said, the fact that the process or the service is very much centered around the individual, and they're actually asked how they feel, because the women that I see, they've not necessarily had anybody ask them, how do you feel? How are you? What do you think? I've not been in that sort of situation necessarily before, or had the time to be able to stop and think about how they feel and have that time that's just for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that can be overwhelming. I mean, that can be quite overwhelming for some women. And at the end of any of our sessions, there's often a lot of hugs and thank yous and tears of joy. So it's neat.
That's great. That's really good. So I've spoken to some of the ladies also that have been through the Dress for Success experience themselves. What do you feel is the positive difference that Dress for Success is able to make?
I think definitely the empowering. So however small or great that might be, the experience, from all of our feedback, and we do survey our clients and ask for feedback, is that women feel more positive, more empowered, more ready to take the next step, whatever it is. So the clients you've talked to have felt that, and that is the feedback that we get time and time again. Obviously it's a bit of a bubble while you're in working with us and with the volunteers, but the key is to take that with you when you leave the door, and go out and on to the next thing. We have we have numerous women who will, can't wait to let us know that they've got that job or got onto that training course, or have taken a new step, or it might be as simple as just maybe an exercise regime or spending more time with the child. There can be little things, not even as big as getting a job, but all of that feedback that we get indicates we've had a positive part, along with many others involved, but that we have that impact.
Absolutely. And I think the work, seeing and knowing a lot of the volunteers, of which there are many, and seeing how the ladies feel when they're going through that process is it's like watching them light up from the inside out. And it's such an amazing thing to be part of. And I know so many of the volunteers, obviously, just they love totally what they do, and they're doing it for all the right reasons. Just to put just sort of a indication on that, how many people sit behind the Christchurch Dress for Success wheel?
So we've got around 50 volunteers. About half of those volunteers are working on what I call the interactive frontline. So they are seeing the women coming through the door. They're called personal stylists, although they're much more than that. They're sort of coaches and mentors as well. And we have our coaching team, and then we have staff as well. And then probably the other 50% are events. So they're involved with fundraising activities, sales, Our board is all voluntary, and there's 7 women on the board. So, yeah, that makes up the rest of who we have.
That's amazing. It's such an amazing organisation. So if somebody wanted to donate to Dress for Success, what would be the best thing for them to do?
Mm-hmm. Well, donations, of course, come in a couple of ways. So obviously financial donation is gratefully accepted and probably the most useful, particularly at this time with COVID-19. A lot of our revenue streams are compromised, so any donations in that way, you can go to our web page and push the donate button. But also to make things tick over in terms of the dressing program, we do rely on the support and generosity of others in regard to clothing, jewellery, coats, boots, shoes, makeup, unused makeup. And that's obviously what we're going to be dressing our clients in for the dressing program.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Well, I really appreciate your time, Ginny, today. And thank you for giving us an insight into Dress for Success and what you do. And I think they're an amazing organisation, and I know that there's a lot of good going out there. And obviously, the ladies that have given me the opportunity to talk to them about their experience are definite ambassadors for that as well. So, Ginny Rhodes, Executive Manager for Dress for Success, thank you very much for your time today, and all the best through these difficult times. So stay well and stay safe.
Thanks, Claire, and you too.